Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Jolly Life here on CEMTV. I am Emmanuel Tamuno Tenari, but you can call me Tammy for short. And of course, I'm not alone in the studio. But first up, let me ask you, how are you doing? How's your day going? I hope you're having a very eventful day. I hope you are, getting things done. Your business is going well. Your, work is not as stressful as, it usually is. I hope you're having quite the day. I have with me the weather oracle herself, Vera Philip. Vera, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Tammy. How are you? Good afternoon.
Well, I'm doing great. Good afternoon. How's your day going so far?
Well, it's great. I'm having a good time today, and today's Tuesday, so yes, it's good so far. That's how I love my day to be, very good,
Yeah.
restful, as much as it also involves work, but also let it just be something I enjoy. And so my day is great altogether.
Exactly. Well, for me, Tuesday is a countdown to the weekend.
Serious
Give or take.
countdown, though.
As long as Monday has passed, we are counting down to the weekend.
And I don't know if I'm the only one that feels like the month of August has been running really fast. I mean,
Oh,
I can't
yes, it
believe that
has.
we are already
It
in the
has.
18th of
Yeah.
August. And I'm just hoping that the remaining days don't start to now slow walk. Because I really need you, the way you have existed till 18th, please exist like that till 31st. Let's just be done with, But I love it. I really do love that we're going fast for August. Yeah.
Exactly. August is quick. August is swift. August is waiting for no man. August is that. August was what the person had in mind when they say time waits for no man. It was just August. They experienced August and they said, nah, time waits for no man. No. So August, I thank you for running so quickly. And I pray, as Vera has prayed, I join my faith with Vera's faith, that you will continue to run quickly until we get to the 31st. Well, today on Jolly Life, we're going to be talking about something that, I say, have personal experience with. It's something I've experienced, it's something I have done, it's something I've seen happen, and it's something that, in a way, is justifying. Now, Jemima Osunde has been trending or has her face on social media for one thing she did in Lagos traffic. We all know that when it comes to traffic anywhere in Nigeria, Lagos, Abuja, Port Harcourt, Kano, anywhere, is that there are those sets of individuals who would want to follow one way, who would want to break traffic regulations and rules, either because they just want to, or because, I don't know, for reasons beyond our understanding. But there'll always be that set of people. And I'm not talking about those allowed by the law. I'm not talking about ambulances on the way to carrying out, emergency services. I'm not talking about fire services on the way to save a life or save lives from a burning building. And I'm not talking about a police chase that is happening right on the spot and the police need a clear road. I'm not talking about those people. They are permitted by law, in those specific cases, mind you, to break the law, to ply the road as they see fit, as they need to carry out their duty. But in a situation where the police is not in a police chase, in a situation where an ambulance is not on its way to swiftly carry out emergency services, and in a situation where a fire truck is not in a haste to put out a fire, they are subjected to traffic laws. How much more the common man? How much more everyone else beneath the law of our nation? We've all experienced a person or two, a convoy or two that breaks traffic laws. And some of you, you've been in that situation and you did something about it. And some of you, you've been in that situation and you're like, we allow them pass now. Nothing spoil. Now, so then they do. In this particular case, Jemima say, Mbano, no, I'm not going anywhere. because she had a situation where she was caught in traffic, or rather the opposite lane was caught in traffic, and then an expensive looking car with, of course, red and blue lights in front of it, signifying that this person is a man of status, tries to butt into her lane, and she blocks them, and she says she's not going anywhere. And of course, as per on cue, police officers come out of the vehicle, and she says she's not going anywhere. And she stood her ground until the last man came and they blocked the vehicle that tried to follow one way. She recorded the entire incident and she had a few takes to give. But here's her recording of that incident.
This is opposite Oriental. That is the lane for people going towards VI. This is the lane for people going into Lekki. This person on my lane with a police officer in his car and is expecting me to leave my lane. Look at where I am. Oh, this is the lane for going into Lekki. You are passing one way. You left your own side of the road because of traffic. And you have a policeman in your car, but expect me to leave my lane. I blocked him and I said I'm not moving. And now last man have come. Hopefully they arrest him, because this is part of the problem in this country. It's easy to say Nigeria is bad, Nigeria is this. We are contributing to it. You are contributing to it. Where are you going that's more important than anybody else's? I have a 1 o'clock, it's 12:57, and I will not move because you are in my lane. This is wrong. Officer, block him down like that. If you people allow this person go, then all of us are part of Nigeria's problem. If you let him go, then all of us are part of the problem in this country. He must not go. He must not.
The fact that she kept echoing her point that, look, if you let this man leave here, we are all part of Nigeria's problem, because that would be turning a blind eye to a crime that was committed in broad daylight. And that also tells on your value of the law. You know, and her calling them out like that, it's extremely important. And I think it's rather sad that we would have the police force entangled with issues like this. In most cases, we have police officers assigned to these expensive looking vehicles, to these convoys, and they are the ones that facilitate having traffic laws broken. Not for emergency purposes. I've seen a police chase take place. I've seen when the police are chasing someone, a thief or whatever. And I've seen how they drive. I've seen how they need to drive to maneuver. And once the siren is on, you know to give way to help them get that criminal. But in this case, it has gotten to a point where the common man, every Nigerian, almost every Nigerian, would say once they hear the siren, their first thought, let's say there's a gridlock, their first thought is not, oh, maybe there's a police chase on the way. It's, oh yeah, fly now. Fly, because I know that's what you guys want to do. You're blowing the siren because you want the siren to magically clear the road in one way or the other. Or you're blowing the siren so that when you're passing the one way, the people that want to complain will think twice. So that they say, no, na police. Oh. That's the issue that has been on ground for a long time. And I don't think it should be the case. In situations like this as well, you see police officers assigned to these individuals. The first duty of the police officer is to maintain and preserve law and order. That is your first duty as given to you in the Constitution. So in a situation where you were found to be promoting someone breaking said laws, someone violating traffic regulations, and it seems as though you are in the thick of it, you're allowing it to happen, or you're even encouraging it. And those that are trying to call it out, you're trying to silence them. I think it's a bad stain on the reputation of the police force. Vera, in your personal experience, have you seen something like this happen? Or have you been in a situation where you've seen a convoy, you've seen a police van, you've seen, you know, a police truck or hilux in traffic, and they try to use their siren to follow one way or follow one chance, or to just break traffic laws altogether? It may be a police van, or it may just be an expensive looking car with a police convoy.
I think that every Nigerian, especially an average Nigerian, has probably witnessed or experienced this. One that I can remember clearly was when I used to live in Calabar, and as a student, I think my friend and I went to Army Barracks. There used to be this field just beside Army Barracks. Can't remember the name of that place in Calabar. So we went there to take pictures, and then the rain came. So we had to find shelter because that was like an open field. And so the next building is like an Army Barracks. And so we had to move to the Army Barracks and, you know, had to find shield or whatnot. And then we saw this military vehicle outside, and they were actually parked just outside there, but of course personnel inside as well. So they offered to drop us where we're going, which was beautiful because at the end of the day, military personnel. So we got into the van with them. And remember, it was already raining before now, so everywhere was literally blocked. In short, that particular rain, I still remember our hairdresser, her roof was thrown out. Like, the rain was so heavy alongside thunder and lightning, and it was so much wind that a lot of things were messed up on the road. Trees had fallen, the road was crazy, like everywhere was, you know, very unkept. There was already great luck on the road, you know, cars were jammed and all of that. And so this vehicle, or this military, you know, van, drove out and tried to use one way. Now, when you're trying to use one way, obviously there are vehicles coming your direction.
Yeah.
Right? And these vehicles got jammed based off traffic. And it was so bad that these personnel came down of the vehicle and they were flogging the cars and the drivers. Right? And I, who was like seeking for, you know, shelter, or should I say inside, I was literally scared. Like, if they can do this to people who are just barely on the road, what about me that's inside the van with them and I'm a girl? I was that scared. Myself and my friend, we like, why are they angry? Like, why? This is not anybody's fault. Like, everybody's just trying to find a way out. Why you flogging the car and flogging these people will not make this car move away from here? Do you know? So with Jemima, it is a case of privilege, because of course she's privileged. She can decide to block that person. What would the person do? She has the law on her side, and of course she has family. She's an influencer. She's, you know, she's right there. She's popular. So you're basically not going to do nothing to her. Why? Because, you know, she has the face, and she has the what do we call it? She has the popularity to back it up. So you can't do anything to her. I mean, she even has her phone recorded there. If she went live, do you know how many people joined that live?
Exactly.
But let's talk about the, you know, average Nigerian, or even, you know, the layman Nigerian who literally just wants law and order, doing that same thing that Jemima has done, especially to uniform man, or even to a man who has uniform men. They will be assaulted. They will be greatly assaulted. And this is not factual, but at the end of the day, it is what we see happen. So it is a case of privilege. I really admired what she did, but how many people would go away with it, act that way and go away with it, despite wanting to do the right thing? So at the end of the day, we don't have to, as Nigerians, place ourselves in a place where we do the right thing, or we have to convince others to do the right thing and still get punished for it. If we are getting people to do the right thing, let us feel safe that by getting these people to do the right thing, it means that we are definitely going to get, like, they're going to do the right thing, just like Jemima had, you know, at the end of the day, gotten done. But is it everybody that would have done what Jemima had done that will go scot-free? Because that car looks like a very luxurious car, and as we said, the person had officers in his car. If that was a taxi driver or something, we won't be saying the same stories. So that's the one. We need to be comfortable. We need to be sure enough to know that when we're trying to put people in their place, we are safe as well. We do not have to come and bear consequences of those actions, which in every case is not even a bad action. So it's not supposed to be that way, but it is what it is at the end of the day. And hopefully we get to the point where every Nigerian can be able to speak up, you know, for Nigeria. Try, because of course we usually say, just like Jemima said, Nigeria is bad, or the government is bad, but it really starts from you and I. It starts from home.
I mean, she
you
did
know.
say that,
And they
if
usually
you let
say,
this man go,
yeah,
you are part of the
the problem,
problem
most
in
definitely.
Nigeria.
And they usually say charity begins at home. So if you're not starting off at home to correct what's happening in Nigeria, it's just like the issue of corruption, how some people, will lower the gravity of some level of corruption and then increase the gravity of some other level of corruption. It's funny because even down to even our government and our police sector, you see a petty thief being sentenced to prison or even having to go through jungle justice, but someone who is stealing millions in the government house will be rewarded at the end of the day, or at the end of the day be given a fine and is not even going to go to prison. So these are the issues. We should start from small, from the little things that we face, from the little things that happen at home. That's where we're supposed to start from, and I hope we get to that point soon. But regardless, it is important that we know that we are responsible for the law and order in this country. Aside the police, we are also responsible as citizens who, of course, live here, breathe here, do everything here. It is our civic responsibility to make sure that we are protecting the law and order. So when you see someone committing a crime, it's important that you report them. If you see someone breaking a rule, it's important that you report them. So when you see situations like that, instead of passing, if you cannot do what it is that Jemima has done, report the situation, get the plate number, report the plate number, get the video evidence, whatever you need to do, but make sure that you're also safeguarding yourself while doing that. Report who you need to report, but these actions need to start taking place so that people would begin to act the right way, and we will not have to be calling out issues or even thinking about, oh, would Nigeria be better if we can start from the small grassroots and make it better.
Well, I love the fact that you talked about Jemima's privilege. You talked about how she is privileged to do this thing. She has the ability to do this thing, and certain consequences that the normal everyday man will face is not what she would face. I think the fact that she took advantage of said privilege to carry out this action, to put this person in their place, to remind them that they are not above the law, I think it's worth commending, because if we're being honest, society is built on strata. Society is built on hierarchy. There will be people that are more privileged than others. There will be people that are less privileged than others. That is how society exists. I mean, it's so natural that even if you want to go religiously, in heaven too, they'll tell you that the blessing this person will receive at the end of the day is not the blessing this person will receive at the end of the day. In heaven, the amount of the crown, the stars in your crown will not be the same stars that will be in this person's crown. There is hierarchy. This person will be greater than this person. This person will be greater than this person. This person will be more privileged than this person. This person will be more privileged than this person. So every society, there is hierarchy. Don't you think that the fact that she understands this and she took advantage of it to use her privilege to make sure that she checked this particular person, doesn't that at least call for some sort of applaud? Or maybe do you think that it was all just for clout? Because of course, like you said, she's an influencer. She's someone that is on social media. She's someone with a following. She's someone that content would serve a whole lot. Could it be that she took advantage of this privilege to actually check someone breaking the law, basically becoming a sort of civil hero? Or maybe do you think because of her influencer background, she did it entirely for clout? What are your own takes on
So
that?
I would not and I would not want to believe that it's just done for clout. Why? Because we're the same people who always call out the celebrities and be like, you have to set the standards, you have to do this thing, people have to see how much it is that you're also putting to make Nigeria a better place. So seeing Jemima's actions, to me, is even like should be praised, because first of all, celebrities have a lot to gain from the government. They have a lot. They don't necessarily need to come out and pull down the government or anything, because I mean, some of them are eating from the government's table. for you to want to do something of that nature, or whether that or anything at all regarding to the police, the government, or anything, it most likely means that you do not care about the money or the offers that could come from that table, right? So yes, first of all, I give her the accolades for that. Second of all, I also feel like, personally, I follow Jemima not just because she's an actor, but also because of her personality traits. And she doesn't strike me as one, personally, again, as one who would do this for clout, because I follow Jemima and I can't say one thing that she has done for clout, or anything that she has done, in the past, that this is clout.
Yeah.
You get, so I can't say that, okay, she did any of this for clout. Thirdly, somebody cancelled their entire day. And they said that, you know what, I'm going to teach this person a lesson, and I'm going to use him as set example so that others will see. She's a bona fide Nigerian as well, and she has the right. I wish we could play the part where, she actually also was talking about, how Nigerians feel like everybody can just do what they like. I feel frustrated sometimes by that action.
I'm glad you pointed that out. So just hold on to that thought. Let's play that video and hear what she had to say.
Opposite Oriental. That is the lane for people going towards VI. This is the lane for people going into Lekki. This person on my lane. It's very obvious to me that if we allow some of you in this country, you will run everybody else mad. You will actually turn the rest of us to lunatics. The sheer stupidity of what just happened now is evidence of the fact that the average Nigerian has lost the concept of consequences for actions. Everybody is just doing the one that they like. We're just freestyling, beating traffic lights, passing one way. Everybody is doing the one that they want, and I'm not here to teach you what is right and what is wrong. I won't do that. All I will say is, if you're unfortunate enough to meet somebody like me or me in traffic in that kind of situation, if I have to cancel everything I have for the day to sit there with you and block you and delay you and make sure you go around and follow the right place, or I call the police on you or LASMA, that's what I will do. That's what I will do, because I'm sick of Nigerians just doing anyhow. I'm sick of it. As if Lagos is not congested enough without you passing one way and breaking traffic lights. Unless you are an ambulance or a fire truck. I don't care if you have police in your car. I don't care if you yourself are a policeman. I don't care if you're a damn fool driver. I don't care if you're a big man in the back seat of your car with a police. I don't care. As long as it is my lane and I have the right of way and I am not breaking the law, I will not leave my lane for you. I won't. If you don't have a medical emergency, you're not rushing to go put out a fire, or you're not rushing as a police service to go, why should I leave my lane for you? Why? Why is your destination more important than my own? So me, I can sit in traffic, but you can't. And there are no consequences for actions in this country. If I did not block that road and stand my ground, and those last men did not come, that person would have gone about his day and repeat it tomorrow. I'm sick of these things. I'm honestly tired of it. I don't care if you're a doubtful driver that wants to hide behind the excuse of ignorance or lack of education, or you're educated and you still want to make that kind of decision. It's me and you on the road. If you ever run into me, I will not leave my lane.
To allow that video play, because you had made mention to it, you had referenced it, and I was like, you know what, let that video just play at once. From what you were saying, you were like, from everything she's done, she hasn't done anything for clout, and she was expressing herself at how it makes absolutely no sense.
So that's I, as a Nigerian as well, sometimes I feel frustrated, by some people's actions. I think I was trying to travel from one interstate travel in Akwa Ibom over the weekend, and then there was this man who was there, and people take seats when you want to enter into a cab that is taken on that travel, and then he came and there was already someone on a particular seat, and he didn't even show any concern. I was like, oh, you know what, please, I would like to sit here, maybe because of this or that. He didn't. He was like, he should take off the bag, he wants to sit there, and everyone was like, somebody is sitting down there, and he said, take off this bag, I want to sit here, I want to sit here. So the person came and was like, you could, sir, what's the problem? He said, take this bag out of here. Before the person could even say anything, he took the person's bag and threw it away. And everybody was just like, what's going on with this man, And the person said, sir, you could have just asked for the seat nicely. And the man started to rain insult on this, lady.
I wouldn't be surprised if part of the words that were said was, do you know who I am?
Exactly. Next thing, there was an ID card flying around. Oh, I'm the head of defense in the whole of Nigeria. He was throwing his ID card around, if that's a fake ID card, I don't know, that he's the head of defense in the whole of Nigeria, that you're talking to him, you're insulting him, and everyone, I was even staring at him like, are you okay, sir? Like, you literally just came. You threw somebody's bag. The only statement this person made was that you could have been
nice about
You
it.
are the one who has been raining insults on a young lady, and you are also claiming now that you have been insulted. So I'm sure that the same shock I had on my face was the same shock everyone else in the car had on their face, because like, well, how did we get here, right? And I remember when he dropped, because I dropped where he dropped, but when he first dropped, and everybody was like, now wow, like, everybody has been holding something they wanted to say,
Yeah.
but they had to just hold on for him to drop.
Why?
Out of
My own is
respect,
that, you see,
because
that issue of why do
he's
you
an elderly
need
man.
to...
He's an elderly man. He's an elderly man, and I'm sure like a lot of people just wanted to show him respect inside the car, and it was very shocking to me. Like, why would you be so situations like sometimes you see the way Nigerians behave, and you question like, are you well trained? Are you trained? Do you have a background? Like, what is going on? You see how Nigerians break the rule on the road. You even see, let's not even go far, public transport. You will see that this person is wrong. And then when the other person starts, the other driver starts to be like, why are you doing that? Next thing you hear abuse up and down, flying up and down. You are wrong. We are in a country where everyone is just trying to do what it is that they want to do to make their life better, irrespective of what it cost another person or what it even cost the entire nation as a whole. And that is not supposed to be it. People are not supposed to just be fighting for survival in that manner, especially if it's detrimental to another person or to every other situations.
Exactly.
Even down to mannerism. I'm sure that if that man had come down from that car and had a conversation with her and said, oh, okay, look, I'm sorry that I took one way, I'm going to turn back, because accepting what you have done wrong, it shouldn't have gone that far. But best believe pride also got involved.
Yeah.
Because you know why? I'm into the luxurious car with policemen inside. So those are really the issues.
Now, the thing is, let's go on a short break. We have a lot to say. We'll be right back.
Is it time? I can't wait to see it.
Voice of the people, stories that matter.
Oh wow!
Truth in every moment, now and forever. Across every border, across every land, we form, we empower, together we stand. From Africa to the world.
Welcome back to Jolly Live. This still is CEMTV and I remain Emmanuel Tamunot Tenari, but you can call me Tammy for short. Of course, I'm not alone. I'm still with Vera Phillip and we are talking about Jemima Osunde's standoff against an unidentified individual in an expensive car trying to, as they would say on the road, fly one way. But she blocked him and took a video calling for the last man to ensure that this individual is taken, to, would I say, prison, or at least prosecuted for breaking traffic laws. And so far, we've talked about it, we've addressed it, we've shared our thoughts, and honestly, there was something Vera said before we went on a short break that in her experience, she saw a man that came rudely through someone's bag trying to claim the seat and then throwing ID card around saying that he's the chief of defense or head of defense in the entire Nigeria, blah, blah, blah. And it was after he got off the bus that people started sharing their thoughts on his behavior. And it struck a nerve with me because I'm of the opinion that if you want respect, you should give respect, not only to yourself, but to those that you want respect from. It doesn't matter who you are. It really does not matter who you are. The only person that is deserving of respect, regardless, is the deity you serve. That's the only person deserving of respect unequivocally. If you serve any deity, you serve any god, you serve any divine being, that's the only person in your life that deserves your respect without giving you respect back. But even your parents don't deserve your respect if they don't respect you. Because respect is a transaction. It's give and take. Someone that has no respect for themselves and no respect for the person that is over there, but then expecting the person to respect them, it's not possible. It doesn't happen. So that mindset, that concept, that because you are aged, because you are elderly, you are deserving of respect regardless. It's not a doctrine I personally would stand by. You can stand by it. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. Everyone is entitled to their takes. Because there's a reason why there's a saying that someone can be a fool at 40. Because age is not a sign of maturity. And maturity is what demands respect. Because it's when you are mature, you know how to deal with yourself. And in doing so, you know how to deal with others. Because it's when you have respect for yourself, you will respect others because you don't want them to disrespect you. So even if, and that's the mantra I live by. So if you are making a fool of yourself in public, I will call you to order. Because at that point in time, you've disrespected yourself. So you have no right to demand respect from me. You've put me in the position to be able to call you out on what you're doing wrong. You're breaking traffic laws. You've disrespected yourself. You've disrespected the law. And now I cannot give you respect. I have the right to call you to order, to say what you are doing is disrespect. And me doing that is not disrespecting you. It's not in any way. Well, that's the mindset I have. Vera, don't you think, or what's your own take on this issue of, wanting to keep, because what this person has done is obvious disrespect.
Obviously.
Not only to the people driving on the opposite lane, because it's like you have no regard for these people. That's why Jemima asked, where are you going that is more important than where I'm
other
going?
people are going to.
Where are you going that demands more attention than where I am going to, than where every other person is going to. So in a situation like this, do you think that concept of respect should come into play, even if the person is, older than you, even if the person is of a higher status than you? If this person has decided to disrespect themselves, disrespect the law of Nigeria, and disrespect you, isn't it your responsibility to call them to order?
Well, absolutely, it is. That's why I already stated before that every citizen is supposed to be able to make sure that we also uphold law and order wherever it is that you find yourself.
It is their civic responsibility, after all.
So far as you are in Nigeria, it is your responsibility to make sure that you uphold law and order. And that's why I said, if you're not as privileged as Jemima is privileged, do well to report. Anything you have to do aggressively. I was watching a lady on TikTok, and she was talking about the one time that, she did something that she was so proud of. And she described the story where she was in an estate, as then her parents were living in this estate, and then she was going on her evening runs, and this day she had to go on this run late in the night, but that the estate was quite secure, so it wasn't something that she had to be scared of. And then while coming back, she saw a young girl who also lives in the estate with her parents. This young girl should be maybe below 12 years old, and a very huge man who was, serving as an apprentice in one of the people living around the estate.
Yeah.
And they were standing in a dark corner, and she went there and she was like, "What are you people doing here?" Now, I'm bringing this story because there's some people that will see that situation and will just be like, "Oh, it's not my business.
It's not my business."
And they'll just pass by. But this girl was brave. According to her, that was when she was even still like in school. She was in university. But she went there. She was like, "What are you doing with this man? What are you doing with this boy? With this boy, what are you doing?" So when she tried talking, the guy tried to run away. And then she took the girl to the mother. The mother did not even know that the girl was not sleeping at home. That he thought she was on bed sleeping. Didn't know that she was already out. And, brought her home, asked her who was the boy that she was with. She finally mentioned. The next day they went to the boy. Like, she felt so proud of that particular action. That a lot of us, we actually do see things that are wrong, and then we turn the other eye because maybe we do not want to get involved and put ourselves in trouble, or we believe that where it is we are going to, what it is that we are doing is more important, or than what it is that is going on here, that we could learn our 2 cents, or even try to uphold the law and order that we should by that place. In some cases, we are just probably not just interested. We don't love our neighbor enough. We don't love the next person enough to show that, oh, there is definitely need for me to stop by and be of help to this person, or do what it is that is right to this person. But that's the responsibility that all of us have actually been called to, live, and of course to even practice. That's what we have been called to practice. As a matter of fact, when you see something going wrong, make sure to, talk about it. Make sure to, address it. Make sure that you report what needs to be reported. If you're not as privileged as Jemima, collect the plate number of that car. Video that action. Report to LASMA. Do what you can on your own end to make sure that we are all living in a same country. We're all behaving like normal human beings. And we are all working in the same vein to make sure that Nigeria becomes great again.
Well, that's pretty much what we can take. But before we go, I just want us to look at some reactions that this gathered on social media, X to be specific. So here are some reactions. Bulahan says, "I did this same thing earlier this year. I blocked those boys. What annoyed me that night was them honking for me to shift from the road while they were on one-way movement. Police later took them to Ogba police station after initially wanting to blame me for roads blockade." Now, Martin says, "I really don't know you much, but I love this and will never stop loving you for this. The courage and confidence alone speaks volume. Hashtag stand your ground for what is right." Jonathan says, "You really try, but I advise you to stop dragging this kind of matter with anyone, especially when you don't have your own personal security. Nigeria no be normal country. If you dey right, make them stiffy clear your doubt." That's what Jonathan had to say. Ifedi says, "Good deed, but LASMA won't do anything. Institutions here are dependent on the patronage of the so-called big men. Hence, they always get away with crimes." And your man says, "They will still let him go after you've left there. Nigeria is such a lawless place." That's what your man had to say. And of course, Dion says, "Nigeria is a country where the government is not against the law which they are forcing on the citizens. Welcome to Nigeria. Laws for thee, but not for me. Kojo Thompson says, this is me. I will never move, Sha. That's your lane, and we will go to international court if we have to. So filthy behavior from people. And Omo Jesus says, I was on the Zumba overhead bridge once and as usual, there was traffic going out the island. This police on escort duty were forming a third line at the center. Where do you want me to go? Lagos and reckless driving. They ended up scratching and damaging 4 cars. Why? That's a very important question. Night Fox says the annoying part is that he has police officers with him who should have corrected him, but the law is only for the masses, not for the big men. Once again, laws for thee and not for me. That's the most we can take here on Jolly Life. I do hope you enjoyed yourself, because I know I did. If you did, be sure to join us on Thursday for another edition of Jolly Life. Of course, as usual, I'm not going to be alone. I'll have the beautiful Vera Phillip here once again.
Always.
So if you want to enjoy this duo, be sure to join us on Thursday. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, we bid you adieu. I am Emmanuel Tamuno Tenari, but you can call me Tammy for short.